So hey, this is Rick. I'm back again. We'll go ahead down to the next blogs and the next analysts. They can give us their draft grades for their certain division. We already heard it from Bruce Blakely and Ryan Smith. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down to Ty Lundberg, who is in charge of NFC West. What's good, Ty?
All right, with the NFC West, we'll start with the Cardinals. With their first round pick, they took a strong safety, Deion Buchanan, out of Washington State. He's a hard hitter. He's a playmaker. 114 tackles, 6 interceptions last season. You throw out in the mix of secondary that already has Patrick Peterson, Cromartie, Matthew, and you're just adding more playmakers to the mix. Also they picked out with their second pick Troy Nicholas, tight end. Bruce Arians uses a lot of tight ends. That's going to be a big boost for them. And what may be a steal long term, we don't know, is taking Logan Thomas in later in the draft. Someone they can build as a quarterback behind Carson Palmer. He's got a strong arm. His accuracy is a little questionable. Some of his decisions are a little questionable, but they got time to develop him, so that may be a sleeper pick down the road. Moving on to the 49ers. They also took a safety with their first pick, Jimmy Ward. He's a versatile player. He plays the range. They're going to team him up with Eric Reed, and already they got a talented young safety. And in the second round, they took Carlos Hyde. Ohio State is a bruiser. He's going to join the competition with Lattimore, who's coming back from an ACL surgery, to be the heir apparent to Frank Gore. Gore's contract ends at the end of the season, and you got to think they're looking for someone to replace him. Kind of a sleeper pick, they took Brandon Thomas out of Clemson. He injured his ACL while working out with the New Orleans Saints. He's probably going to need most of the year off. He's almost like a red shirt pick. They can sit him down, and he's going to be a strong player in the future. So when your team's deep, like the 49ers are, you can kind of take those risks. So I give the 49ers a B+ grade on their draft overall. Seattle's got some questionable picks. They traded out of the first round. Normally can't fault a team for trading out. But they left the best guard in the draft on the board. That's a need they had. Especially with the improvements that the Rams made to their defensive line. It's something in the division they probably want to strengthen. And then after trading out of that pick with their first pick in the second round, they took Paul Robinson, a small, speedy receiver who kind of has a skill set of a Percy Harvin, when they really needed a bigger receiver. So that's kind of, a head-scratcher also. Overall, the Seahawks didn't address a lot of needs. They made some questionable picks, so I give them a C-. It wasn't a horrible draft, but, it wasn't great. And then you go to the Rams. The Rams had a pretty good draft. They took Greg Robinson. You got your future bookend, keeping Bradford safe. It's obvious they're committing to Bradford as the starter. So you put someone in place to kind of help protect him. And then also they took Aaron Donald with their second first-round pick, 13 overall. And, he's just a beast. He led the NCAA in tackles for a loss with 28.5. He had 11.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. You take that to an already great defensive line, and you have easily the best defensive line in football. So that really strengthened their team in 2 spots. They did have one head-scratcher. They took Trey Mason in the third round. He was, the offensive the player of the year in the SEC, but you kind of have Zach Stacy, and they had other needs they needed to fill, so that was a little questionable to me. But overall, I gave their draft a B+. And that's a rundown on NFC West. Back to you, Rick.
Okay, thanks again, Ty. I appreciate that.